Alright, we have something a little different today. This is kind of a cross between Jimster's lock shop and Jimster's elevator shop. This is an Otis key switch, vintage Otis Yale keyway. There's your Yale key right there. I'm going to kind of give you an idea how this works. First, of course, we'll stick the key in there. Not a heck of a lot to show you on this one. It's a momentary switch, so just spring loaded, so you turn it, and then I would say select whatever button you want, and then let go of it. There's really nothing to see, unfortunately, in the back section here. It's about the only thing you actually can see is the plug turning on the lock. What's interesting is the way this is pinned. This is basically a mortise cylinder, but it protrudes out from the panel, so pin 1 here is unused. This is a 6-pin key, but as you can see right here, pin 1 is not in use. So it's actually only 5 pins cut on a 6-pin key, which is pretty interesting actually. So of course you would have like a Series 1 plate or something, you know, over the top of this, so all you'd see is the keyway sticking out. But it's basically a mortise cylinder. That's why you have this ridge right here. This is where your set screw would go. Hold the cylinder in place. But as you can see here, I'm trying to work with the little desktop tripod. So pardon some of the camera work here. You can see how it's mounted here to this plate by these 2 screws here in the back. Then this is where your wires would go. It would be right into this housing. But we have one that's a little more interesting for you than the Otis. We have a vintage Houghton, straight out of the early 70s. It says, I don't know if the camera can make this out, it says this was an inspection switch, since it says INSP right there. Look at the size of this thing though. It's really interesting how this one works. You can see each time you turn the key, either this side or this side makes contact with the plates here on the center. Not sure how much of this you can see. Features one of these, what I call baby Corbin keys that Houghton like to use. This is actually a pin cylinder, not a like a wafer disc. Your key goes all the way down inside there. Trying to think how to do this so you can actually see what's going on in there. As you turn the key 180 degrees, now this right hand contact is touching the metal plate instead of the left hand contact. So now if you push the push the key back in there, rotate it, now you can see that the contacts have switched positions. One way. I'm not sure which way is off and which way is on. Really kind of a neat thing. Number one, it's a vintage Houghton. This was on a 1972 installation, but also just how complex and well made this actual switch is. Hoping you guys can actually see down inside there. It's hard to tell by the camera. you have the switch here in the center that moves the contacts back and forth. And if you look right there, here you can see the Corbin cylinder. And this is an actual pin cylinder. So there's a set of pins, top pins here, and a set of top pins on that side also. You see as I turn the key, it switches which side is in touch with these metal plates right here on the center. This thing is gigantic, to say the least. There's the bottom. Doesn't really, again, I'm trying to work with the camera here on a tripod, which I don't normally do. But you can kind of see what's going on in there. So you ever see a vintage Houghton with a bunch of key switches, this is what's inside of it. There's the top of it. As I say, it has your, what I call baby Corbin. That's what Houghton used, back then at least. Schindler Houghton used, you know, the tubular keys like EPCO, Innovation, that sort of thing. I thought this was quite fascinating, just how it's made and how it works. Thought you guys might like a look at that. You can see springs here, or a spring there, and another one right there on that side, which helps push the switch back and forth. I dare say a switch like this would last another 30-40 years easily. Can't imagine there's too many things to go wrong on one of these. A little different than micro switches today. So that's what we've got for you. A little bit different than this one here, which is all plastic. You're just going to stick your wires on the back. So, big difference. That's what we've got for you, and thanks for watching.